Change has come to America.
Believe it.
Help is on the way.
Knock, knock.
A new poll conducted by CNN in partnership with the Kaiser Family Foundation finds that 9 out of 10 people believe there is a mental health crisis in the United States. With me now is CNN medical correspondent Dr. Tara Narula. Dr. Narula, what are people pointing at when they say there's a mental health crisis?
Yeah, the numbers are not great. And what a better time to get a snapshot of how Americans are feeling than now after we're coming off of COVID, when we're seeing record levels of drug overdoses and even increasing suicide rates. So the Americans that they polled, about 2,000 over the summer, identified a couple things as crises. Over 2/3 identified the opioid epidemic, about 50% mental health problems in kids and teens or severe mental illness in adults. Another 45% highlighted anxiety and depression. And then get this, about 39% pointed to stress and anxiety over politics.
Oh, my God.
And about 25% pointed to loneliness. And just overall, about 1 in 3 noted some anxiety in the prior year, about 20% depression and loneliness, and 20% said they couldn't go to work because of a mental health condition or problem over the past year.
Yeah, and you know what's really horrible is that, there's a huge percentage of children who are, suffering from suicidal ideation, the suicide rate from 12 to 17 went up 31% in the last year, 31%. 20% of Americans say that their own mental health is only fair or poor, including extra large shares of adults under the age of 30. The LGBT community is also noteworthy in this survey because they are being bullied by politicians. They're being bullied by, school board meetings. They're being bullied by governors. They're being bullied by, so-called Christians. It is really vile. And when you look at the results here, you see that 1 in 4 adults, that's about as many people that say that their financial situation is, dragging them down, are saying that politics, the divisions in politics, the polarization in politics, the bullying of their children or the bullying of, them for, believing this or that, is making their lives unmanageable. It's making their lives miserable. 1/3 of all adults say they feel anxious always or often. And 1 in 5 adults say that they are either depressed or lonely. I'm telling you right now, this divisive politics of ours, this fragmentation of our entertainment sources, this fragmentation of what we read, that, I can answer somebody, if somebody has a question for me, or a political question for me, I will show them stats. And, if it comes from the New York Times or the Washington Post, they'll tell me that's the failing New York Times. I don't get my information from that. Where do you get your information? From my Facebook friends. This stuff is dangerous. This stuff is damaging. This stuff is hurting us as a country. It's making us less resilient. It's making us less strong. It's making us less unified. It's literally, it's not healthy, obviously. That's why it's called mental health. When you don't have a feeling of security, a feeling of belonging, a feeling of having shared experiences. And that baseball game was just one perfect example of, the whole country would be talking about it if we had shared experiences, but we don't. And so we don't communicate with each other about, fun things, good things, great things, big things, sports things. We don't share each other's interests anymore. And so everybody is siloed. Everybody's in their own little universe. Everybody is in their own little phone. Everybody is in their own little social media clique. It's not good. It's not healthy. It's not going to lead to good things. And I will tell you that the exploitation is happening on the right a whole lot harder and more. The propaganda, the lying, the whole disingenuous way in which the right poses themselves as being people who are looking out for you, as being people who care about family values, which is a joke. Okay, it's for pukes. pukes and suckers believe that the Republican Party represents or stands for or has principles regarding family values. We know this after yesterday. We know this after the Herschel Walker story broke, right? His own son, that kid is only 23 years old, and he's a beautiful boy. And his own son said, I've had it with the lying. I have had it. And he's a conservative kid. He's a conservative influencer on TikTok, okay? He believed in the conservative, so-called principles, mantra, whatever. It doesn't exist anymore. It's all fake. It's all false. It's all phony. And you know how you know this? You know how you know this? The GOP literally rallied around this guy, rallied around him. Now, listen, his own staff, Herschel Walker's own staff, quit a couple weeks ago saying that he was a pathological liar, that he lies. This was the quote from the staffers who were exiting his campaign, that he lies as easily as you breathe. Okay? And they said he was a pathological liar, that nothing he said could be trusted or worthwhile or believable. And they left. They all left. His wife, his ex-wife, who is the mother of Christian Walker, who is the conservative TikTok influencer, who said, I've had it now. Enough of the lying. Nobody in this family wanted him to run. But he said that he would put his dirty laundry out there and make it right. He would own it. He would say, what he did to improve himself, to fix himself, because obviously Herschel Walker has had mental illness. He's had too many concussions. He's had, some deep problems with violence. So it's this kid's mother who had the gun held to her head, and it's this kid who swallowed that fact to allow his father to try and run for the Senate. And now this kid is saying, listen, my dad, there's something wrong with him. He's damaged. He's lying. I can't take it anymore. And Ralph Reed from the Christian Coalition, Newt Gingrich, Family Values Newt Gingrich, what a lie. Family Values Newt Gingrich is the person that actually went after Bill Clinton for having an affair in the White House with an intern who was sent over to the White House because Newt Gingrich shut down the government. Those are weird. And then while Newt Gingrich was accusing Bill Clinton of not having family values, Newt Gingrich was cheating on his wife, who he left on her cancer bed to have an affair with a woman whose hair is like a helmet named Callista, okay? These people are so phony, so hypocritical, so disingenuous. But they are now defending against his own son. Against his own son, Herschel Walker. Now, Ralph Reed, let me tell you, this really blew my mind because, the race between Herschel Walker is a race between Herschel Walker and a pastor of the Ebenezer Baptist Church, Raphael Warnock, Martin Luther King Jr.'s home church. That is who Raphael Warnock is. He is the senior pastor at that church. And Ralph Reed is defending Herschel Walker? He's supposed to be Mr. Uber Christian.